And recording.
Liar.
No, I'm not lying.
It's not recording.
Yeah, it is.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm fairly certain. I can go
I'm
check.
just messing now.
We can go check again. Yeah, it's recording.
I was messing with you.
I know.
I was giving you a hard time.
You know, one of my pet peeves is when people give me a hard time. Anyway, this is the long-awaited pet peeve episode that we've been promising since last year.
I trust you have the list up, right? Or you will.
I will in a second.
Okay. Because obviously we don't have the list.
Yeah, give me a second. Did you post a journal?
No, I didn't to that. I should have.
I guess
Sorry.
I could look on mine.
I'm a failure. I should have posted a journal.
Alright.
My hair.
I guess we go through a bunch of these people's pet peeves.
Wait. We haven't even properly started off the podcast.
I remember oh wait, no, it's the end.
Do not attempt to adjust your computers.
Do not.
We now control all that you see and hear. You are now trapped in the furry zone. Now you may continue.
Do not try any of this at home. We're professionals.
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
Okay, so how do we want to start introducing ourselves, Nathan?
Well, they already know us. Or I hope they know us by now.
Yes, but we must introduce ourselves for anyone who doesn't.
I'm Gale.
I am Wizard.
And I'm Rip.
And I make awesome hand motions to make sure they actually say things. So this is our episode for pet peeves. And we've sort of come up with this idea. A while back we were talking about things that we didn't enjoy or didn't like when people did, and we had no time left. And so we decided to make it its own podcast. So, in the spirit of liking our viewers to contribute to this, we asked you on FA, and I posted something on So Furry, and we asked you in the last podcast, what are your pet peeves? Only one person commented on the last podcast. That was Victoria.
Thank you. Hey, Gale.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get started, would you please do me a favor?
No.
Please stand up and turn around slowly in front of the camera.
Can I log into the thing real quick?
Yes.
Okay. I need to log into our YouTube account to make sure what I just said is accurate.
And he will be completely wrong.
Log on and like 20 trolls have gotten in there. It's like told us all their pet peeves. Yeah.
I'm not gonna even.
My pet peeve is furries who have podcasts.
Because there's something wrong with furries having podcasts.
And
we're just better than you. That's how that's gonna work.
Podcasts are okay. Furries are okay, but furries with podcasts, that's dangerous.
And I wasn't making fun of people with lisps. Some of my best friends have lisps. It's just really bad when a very annoying person has a lisp. Because then it's like, you want to be angry at them, but when someone's being angry at you and they're lisping at the same time, it's like you're torn between like being angry and laughing at them at the same time.
No, I don't care about this. Stop asking me questions.
But we love asking you questions.
It's YouTube asking me if I want to use my full name.
Us
like,
too?
This is a account that doesn't have a name.
Oh Lord. Why did you... Okay, that is something... That's a pet peeve of mine. These websites, you sign up for them, and then later on they, just want to change everything. Facebook, YouTube, is like they want... Alright, yeah, you could be anonymous before, but now we want all your business to be out there for everybody to see. I mean, it's not like you might possibly have anything... embarrassing on YouTube that you like. I'm not saying anything wrong necessarily, but you may not want everybody to know that you like My Little Pony. So you don't make your YouTube account public. But YouTube is, no! The world must know that you like My Little Ponies. The world must know that you're a pervert. And if you're afraid to show the world, then, well, you have no business being on YouTube in the first place.
Indeed. So, no one has, hold up. This person may have commented, and I just don't see the comment in my inbox. Entertained. That's what it says.
Not entertained?
Wait. So he doesn't have an answer to our question. He's just entertained?
He just commented entertained. Brayer Cowgal. I don't know who that is.
We will search you out and destroy you!
But thank you for the comment. It was
Yes,
much appreciated.
Yeah, thank you.
Shout out to them. Let's see. It looks like a group account. Anyway, so I'll start out with some of these people. I guess we won't go through names, but this one says annoying laughs. You're gonna hate this podcast. Let's get right there. Okay. Oh. Actually, it says annoying hick sounding laughs. And then it started this like large debate on people's laughs. And I was like, okay, so and this person is from Maine. So I can understand because I'm from Maine and get off my dooyid is a word.
Dooyid?
Dooyid.
Dooyid?
Dooyid. It means front yard. It means dooryard. Literally, I mean, but they dooyid.
What?
Get off my dooyid.
I've never heard that.
And I can't say it without a southern accent anymore. But like, it's like
Dooyid?
Dooyid.
Wait, is that from Maine or?
It's a Maine thing. At least as far as I'm concerned. I've heard it. I've only heard it in Maine.
Dooyid sounds like the name of some like horrible monster you find in some Scottish, like spell book. It's like, the Dooyid has come to kill us all! Run for your lives!
That fits, I must say.
Anyway. That's what annoys this guy. And then there's another one. Okay, here's one. And this is a reply to this other one. And it says, that basically he hates being accused or people acting like he's not intelligent just because he's a southern accent. And talks a little bit slower. Stereotypes. Okay, I'm gonna get on the stereotype thing. I hate when people tell you you're using a stereotype when it's true. Just saying, like, there's a lot of these stereotypes that are, I mean, they're true, let's face it. When it comes to jail populations, which race is there more of?
African Americans.
African Americans. It's just true.
But there's more poverty among African Americans as well.
That's true, but
and who's likely to commit more crimes? Poor people.
Yes.
Is that because poor people are evil? No. It's just because
they need things.
They need things. Yes.
I mean, but like oh gosh. See, I'm losing it here. I used to know there's a bunch of these. Like, Asians are good at math. That's true. Okay? Like, Asians have a higher math score statistically than and just about every other race there is. I mean, it's true. It's not a myth.
It happens.
But it's not true of every Asian.
No, it's not true of every Asian,
right.
But Asians in general.
Right.
It is true. A lot of these stereotypes come from places.
Right.
They're not pulled out of thin air. But anyway, yeah, the whole like Mississippians don't wear shoes. I currently am wearing shoes.
I wear not shoes. I kid. I wear shoes.
I haven't driven a tractor in years, and I don't live on a plantation. However, I do have some really nice land out there that I hunt on. And it's true, Southerners like hunting, most of us anyway.
It's good, but people everywhere hunt, though.
Yeah, that's true.
That's not even a Southern thing.
It's big in the South, though.
People up north do hunt, though.
Southwest.
And we do have indoor plumbing.
Yes, we have indoor plumbing. I swear.
We don't have an outhouse out there. I promise you.
We're on the 5th floor, so.
Now, my mother did grow up with an outhouse, but her family was poor.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, and listen to my voice. I have a southern drawl. I realize this. I am not stupid. I hold 2 bachelor's degrees. I am working on a master's. Okay? How many of you out there can claim the same? Just because I talk slow, don't make me stupid.
Just because I talk like this right here does not make me unintelligent.
True. Although, I will admit that many of my relatives with the exact same accent, yeah, a lot of them are yokels. I love them to death, but they are local yokels. Redneck through and through.
Alright, let's see. This one's from Demonic Bacon.
So we decided to start calling out names?
Well, I'm gonna call out this name because Demonic Bacon.
Demonic Bacon, that's scary.
I actually thought this
Delicious
was a
at the
spam
same
account.
time.
I thought this was a spam account at first, and I almost reported it. And it's actually like a real account. Like this person actually comments on my art and like makes constructive criticism, and replies to journals. He's really, I mean, whoever it is really cool. I can't say he or she because I don't know. It's Demonic Bacon.
Sounds deliciously scary.
It is scarily delicious.
It's scary how delicious it is.
It is. Anyway, and he or she says, when one of my cats steals my food when I'm not looking.
Did it steal his bacon?
If it's bacon, I would be pissed too.
That explains the demonic part. Must have gotten really pissed.
I can understand that. It's okay.
Yeah.
There's another one. Professors who don't use the My courses with the justification that it would encourage students to skip class. Okay, this is an MSU thing.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, My courses features or whatever.
Yeah,
Use
how
of
would
My
that
courses.
encourage people
No,
to skip?
If they use it, then it encourages people to skip class.
If the professors like put the handouts or the notes up on my courses, well then of course the students aren't going to come to class if I've already given them the material. It's not like actually sitting through the lectures, you know, it's going to help them out in it.
Except for that's okay because most professors don't teach just off the PowerPoints. You know, they use the PowerPoints as an outline,
Right.
but they don't just read the PowerPoint.
Yeah.
That's not how they. You know, I have had teachers that do just read the PowerPoint, and there have been times when I've skipped those classes, like my current computer app course for the Force Resources.
You skipped it to build a snow fox.
I skipped it to build a snow fox with champagne, because it was the do's and don'ts of PowerPoint. I know how to make a PowerPoint.
Let's face it, who didn't learn that in middle school?
Seriously, these people, like, I
Most
know
people.
more about computers than that woman does who teaches it.
And it was such a cute little snow fox. It was totally worth it.
Thank you.
We got so many. How many faves?
Glowfox still hasn't seen it yet.
Glowfox, if you see this, you better get your ass on FA and go see this snow fox we made for you. We toiled hard for like an hour
And froze our hands off.
Froze our hands nearly completely off. Just like, you know, these are fake hands now. We lost our hands. Anyway.
It's really cool advanced technology.
Plastic.
Look, I can move them.
Useless rubber.
Oh no, it's not useless.
It's quite useful.
Ah.
I know from experience.
Wait. Is it that Skin Tech PVC stuff?
Yeah.
Alright.
Gale, would you like to demonstrate how useful it is?
No, it's not.
Aw.
Hey, well, you gotta see this stuff.
Yes, now you
I
will do
I have to show you this. It's my tail. I got it. I was so happy.
Tail.
Actually, you may not be able to see it. I'll have to.
Just stand up on the bed.
Oh, I could do that. Then I have to take my
easier on
shoes
yourself.
off. I guess I can.
Make it easier on
Get
yourself.
up on all fours on this bed and waggle your tail. That's it. Shake it, baby.
And I swear, I have more fun with his tail than he does. Like, I'll grab it and stroke it. And
He likes pulling my tail, and it's like, stop pulling my tail.
If you just bleeped out every reference of tail right there, it would be a much more interesting conversation.
Oh, unneeded censorship. Are we going unneeded censorship here?
We should. Totally.
Anyway. Yeah, it's made out of aluminum and steel rings. Aluminum scale steel rings. Here, hold this. Alright. Anyway, so yeah, that does tick me off, because, like, there have been occasions where I miss something in the notes, or, you know, whatever, and I'm trying to remember what it was, and I go to try to find the slide, and it's not there. And it ticks me off.
And it's also nice when they have your grades up, or if they use... I know a few that have used the calendar feature. Like
nobody uses the calendar feature.
My English teacher actually used it.
I've never had a professor that used it.
My online course, they use the calendar to mark all the important dates. They do.
Yeah. My calendar has never had anything on it. Yeah, that was another thing he mentioned, was the calendar feature. My course is like the college's online class.
It's Blackboard.
It's Blackboard, yeah.
If any of y'all use Blackboard, that's what it is. It's just labeled as my courses.
Yeah.
But they use Blackboard for it.
Okay. People making weird noises with their mouths every 2 seconds. She says every 2 effing seconds, like spelled out EFFIN.
Are you talking about those? Once again, I hate to sound racist, but you know, a lot of those black girls who like click their tongue while they're talking,
or like the
like that.
Yeah, it's more like almost like a kiss sound, except for not.
They're like. God,
I hate that.
I make frog noises when I get really bored.
See, like, okay, I can understand that, but then there's like this thing where like I have Tourette syndrome. And so I'm bound to make random noises.
But it's not like you make a noise like every 2 seconds, like clicking your tongue, and I just said like how many times in that sentence?
Too many.
Too many.
That bothers the mess out of me too.
I don't usually
and it's like, do that. And then like, and totally like, and like, yeah, that's annoying.
I don't usually do that. Didn't intend to.
There was a time at my high school when the water drop was real popular. The little making the sound of a drop of water. And I was sitting in this one class with one of my math teachers, and all the guys in class are doing it, like just not constantly, but just intermittently. And the math teacher got so mad. He said, "If I hear that noise one more time," you know, he's like, "I'm storming right that door." And I was always a good kid. I never got in trouble. You know, I never did anything bad. But for some reason, this one time, that part of me is just like,
we could get rid of our math teachers.
Do it. Yes, do it. Exactly. The devil on my shoulder told me to do it. So I was the person I had not made it at all before. But I was the one that dropped the last straw. He shot up like a bull and he took off to that classroom like a bat out of hell. He left us there alone for like 15 minutes before he finally came back with some coffee and he had calmed down some. Yeah.
Coffee funny. Always helps though.
Right.
Stupid people and teenagers. I take offense. I'm still a teenager.
You're stupid people.
I'm not stupid people. I'm a teenager.
Guess
what? Let me tell you a hard fact. Teenagers know everything. We do. We know everything.
Okay.
We think we know everything. I'll say that.
I am not a teenager. I'm a creepy older dude who hangs out with impressionable young boys. But the thing you have to realize about teenagers, the thing you learn in anatomy and biology, their brains are not completely developed yet. Okay, they don't have like their complete, brain cells put together in their skulls. So they have to think periodically with what's between their legs to compensate.
Hey.
And granted, it's a very poor co-pilot, but they make do with what they have.
I've got a lot to think with then.
Nice. That was another weird laugh. You hear that? We're gonna piss that guy off.
We are.
Okay.
That's a little Mark Hamill Joker action there. Alright, Vader.
Like, stupid people. No, there are... I don't like to say somebody is stupid, but there are some really dumb people out there doing really dumb stuff. Like eating cereal while driving. I think we covered this.
I thought you were going to say, like, eating cereal. I'm like, what's wrong with eating cereal?
And people who drive down the wrong side of the road. pulling out of certain restaurants.
Those people are called Europeans.
Actually, I think they would call us they would say that's Americans.
Yeah, most of the world would be like,
We're driving.
Woman calls her husband who's driving into work, and she says, "Honey, look out! I just heard on the news that there's a guy driving down the wrong side of the road. He's causing traffic accidents everywhere." He said, "One, there's hundreds."
I've heard that.
Yeah. Very bad joke.
Yes.
Okay. Trolls. I'm just not even gonna go there.
Trolls, that speaks for itself.
That speaks for itself. Don't troll people. It's just not nice. I mean, like the occasional comment,
Joke.
the occasional joke, you know.
But don't be an asshat.
Yeah, just don't. It's not funny. No one's gonna like you, and we all know you're sitting in your mom's basement anyway. So get out there and actually do something worthwhile with your life, please.
Go find a bridge, get under it, and snatch some goats.
You will eat well.
Wait, no. I don't want to imagine what trolls will do with goats.
Okay.
We do not support bestiality in any way.
What?
Nor do we
I'm joking.
nor do we condemn it. Your life choices
Are
with
yours.
your animal partner are yours to make.
Total human stupidity. I think we've covered this. Stupid people. And intolerance. Oh, out of intolerance. Okay. People who are so pushed in their, so backed in their own ways that they believe it is their duty to, convert everybody else to their way of thinking.
My dad?
Those people piss me off.
My dad?
Especially when they are religious nuts. I'm okay with religion. I happen to be a religious person myself. However, I don't want you telling me what to believe. Religion is a personal thing. It is not a set of rules that we all have to follow to somehow be, saved and not be horrible people and not condemned to hell. And it's like, okay, I'm bi. So pretty much that throws out a lot of it. Straight up, a lot of people's beliefs down here straight up the window.
Mm.
You have to remember where we live. We're in the buckle of the damn Bible Belt. And Christianity here isn't really Christianity. It's more like pop culture.
Yeah, I agree.
And that is another thing I hate is posers. Oh my gosh, posers. People who act like, they're part of this certain crowd when they're really not. And there's so many religious posers here.
My last little trip to the high school, there were so many kids walking around, and they were all wearing rosaries around their neck. Rosaries and little pictures of Jesus. And I actually had a friend of mine who was actually very religious, started to talk to them. Most of them had almost absolutely no clue who Jesus was or what he did. They were wearing crosses, rosaries, and pictures of Jesus because it was popular. Because God was the thing. Jesus was in. He was cool. Religion is not a fad, and it's not something that should be pushed upon you. Faith is something personal. Faith is something that you should believe in because it resonates with your heart. It feels true to you. You can't force someone to believe something that they just don't feel with their heart. So,
I'm Christian. My boyfriend is not. I would never force him to be Christian or anything. He's going to believe what he wants to believe. I mean, if he's interested, I'll tell him what I believe and I'll share with him, but I'm not going to force it upon him. That's completely up to him.
now, of course, there are other zealots out there besides the religious kind.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, sometimes
Oh, yeah.
sometimes atheists can be, just as big as zealots as, as religious people. I mean, how can you believe in anything, any religion, even any semblance of God? How can you believe that, I mean...
How can you dare be Christian? What about the Crusades and the Inquisition, etc.? You can't really judge religion by the things that people have claimed to do in the name of it. Just because people claim to have done, just because the Crusades was done in the name of Christianity did not mean that was a Christian deed. Because that's completely unchristian.
You know what? You just almost completely quoted my Intro to Religion professor, what he said last week. He's like, you can't confuse religion with things people do in the name of religion. Mm-hmm. Because it's not the same thing.
And I've run into a few sexual orientation zealots. It's like, they think it's unfair the way that, gay, bi, and transgender people are treated, but yet they feel a need to harangue some people. How do I put this? Like, I've known some people that throw their sexuality out there so far and in public view, and if anyone says anything, you're judging me, you're not accepting me. Well, I mean, it's like, I'm accepting of many, different I'm accepting of all sexualities. But, if you're, like, sort of putting on a little, performance there in the middle of the Walmart, and there's little kids running around, I'm not, judging you. I'm just telling you that you probably should move it to a more private venue. That's just good manners.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, there's this thing, like, oh, you see two guys kissing or whatever, and people will freak out. Well, guy and a girl can kiss in public, but I don't want to see anybody making out in Walmart.
Or dry humping.
Or I don't want to see even a straight couple do that in Walmart. That's inappropriate everywhere.
Yes. Yeah, I mean...
It's like he's gay, but he's by no means fabulous.
Yeah, never mind.
Okay, not by no means. He occasionally has his fabulous moments.
What are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about.
What are you talking about?
I'm gonna leave it ambiguous.
Fine then.
Speaking of,
we all know you're a gay
ambiguous.
dragon. You're a gay dragon, not a bi dragon. We all know.
I'm bi.
You're gay.
I still like vagina.
You don't like boobs though.
No, I'm not a huge fan of boobs.
And then Victoria's gonna find this and she's like, "You're not 50-50 bi."
But hey, now some guys just aren't boob men. Some guys are leg men or ass men.
Yes, but guys and girls have ass.
True.
Anyway, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, no. Crap! What was I gonna say?
I stole it.
What was our last?
You were saying that I'm not fabulous.
No, before that.
And then you said I am a little bit.
I think it was zealous.
Oh, ambiguous. Being ambiguous.
Oh.
Cliffhangers. I hate them. Okay, there's a love-hate relationship. Being a writer, I am a writer on occasion. I do actually write things.
Believe it or not.
Believe it or not, I haven't written anything in a while. I do like to write, but I have very little time to write for pleasure. But anyway, cliffhangers. I'm guilty of writing them, and I'm guilty of hating them. So,
I am a huge comic book fan, and as a comic book fan, one of my favorite parts of any comic is always the last page. Because if there's going to be, usually they save the most dramatic scene, the cliffhanger, for the last page, and that's usually where they put the best art, because they want to hook you and draw you in. So, the hero's just strolling along, he's just, had this big, huge victory, and yeah, my life's going good, I'm on top of the world, and then, next last page, there's like a sword, coming through his chest, and then, on the very last page, there's his arch nemesis, who's been dead for years, and he's standing over him with this sword, and you're like, what the hell happened? And, you have to come back, to find out what happened.
Basically, it just keeps you...
If you're gonna write a cliffhanger into something, don't wait 3 years to write the next thing.
True.
Seriously, have something ready so that when you can sort of move into it in a normal pace.
And I know some shows can't help it, but ending a show on a cliffhanger, I realize some shows get canceled, but that is the most horrible, annoying thing of all time. Because if you end on a high note with the show and it gets canceled, it's not so bad. You end on a cliffhanger and the show gets canceled, you're going to be wondering for the rest of your life, what the hell happened?
I hate that feeling. It's like it's going to tear my mind apart until you're just satisfied.
At least I know of a few instances where shows got canceled and they knew there really wasn't a good chance they were going to get picked back up, and the writers would open up their own blog and release like a few little, like, oh, this would have happened, so you can sort of imagine it in your own head. It's kind of sad, but, you know, a hungry dog takes what he can get.
Alright, the next one is the fact that the U.S. is turning into a welfare state. Yeah, it kind of is. I'll have to agree with that. There's a lot of people out there, and I don't want to, I hate Romney's comment on it, but there's a lot of people out there who sincerely believe that the government owes them stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you know, I don't have a lot of money. I could never afford, I'm stuck between, because I can never afford to go here without the government's help, without government student loans and voc rehab.
But when it comes down to it, you're going to be paying the loans back.
I'm paying the loans back, but voc rehab pays 85% of my tuition, books, room and board.
Right.
But, I mean, that's a huge help to me. That's a government thing that they're giving me.
Yes.
But I also worked my ass off to get here. And I still work my ass off to stay here. It's those people who think that life owes them something and they don't work toward it. This American way the American dream isn't the house with the picket fence and the family and the dog. It's working to get that stuff. That's what people don't realize.
You can't expect it just to come out of nowhere. It doesn't come out of nowhere. You can't expect, okay, I have to have this. Where is it? No.
You don't have a
work
right.
for it.
You don't have a right to happiness. You have the right to the pursuit of happiness. And if you end up in jail, your pursuit of happiness evidently wasn't so good. But that's your fault. But you don't have the right to be happy. You have the right to pursue happiness and in a manner that is reasonable.
Yeah, I mean, there are laws to abide by.
Of course. But you don't have that right. Yeah, like, people sincerely think, oh, well, why am I not happy? It's because of the government. And people will blame the government. Whatever government is there. Like, people blamed Obama at the beginning of his campaign for a lot of the shit that Bush caused. It's like, but Obama hasn't done anything with this yet. He was, like, people were already blaming him for stuff within, like, a week of him being in office, and he hasn't even signed anything yet.
But then again, it always gets tossed to the man in charge, even if he did anything or not. It's not even just specific to Obama. It's just people in general.
Yeah, I mean, people do that in general. But, like, you know, actually do your research, especially political, because around here, people will say, you know, Obama did this, 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 and this, and when you go actually research it, you're like, wait a minute, no, that was all done by Bush.
Also, can I say one thing? Something that's really stupid. People who say that they're Republican and then they always vote Republican no matter what the platform is.
That's just horrible.
The only reason they vote Republican for the Republican nominee is because they're Republican, not because the Republican nominee actually represents them. They vote for whoever's not Democrat.
Yeah, the two-party system bothers the crap out of me. And actually, our founding fathers, George Washington himself, okay, said that the two-party system will not work. It will polarize itself, and we will end up hurting it. And
it's showing.
It's showing. We need a strong down the middle third party, not the Tea Party. The Tea Party is way, way out there.
Yeah, it's to the extreme side of Republican.
We need a very strong independent.
Yes, we do. We need a very strong, down-the-middle independent.
Right.
Someone who can actually compromise. Because, let's face it, the Democrats and Republicans are both guilty of never compromising. It's just, none of them ever do. And I personally am getting sick of the two-party system. I'm getting sick of the whole, well, we can't support that because no, we can't do that because that's the Democrats.
I took a test to see whether Obama or Romney was more in line with my beliefs, and it was about a 50-50 split. So if I could have had like a fusion of Romney and Barack with, the best qualities,
the liberal aspects.
Mitt Rock Obama. If there had been Mitt Rock Obama, yes.
I have and that's me, I agree with some Republican beliefs, and I agree with some Democratic beliefs.
By all means, I love my guns. I don't want to lose them. I don't want any, But at the same time, obviously, I'm gay. I want my right to be married. I know I've talked to you about this before. I don't even understand why it even has to be voted on. It doesn't make sense to me. That should be innate.
Yeah. And it's because
was the was the Constitution written, and homosexuals shall not be married?
Yeah. Yes.
No,
we can't.
I don't understand why it even has to be voted on.
That's true. Mississippi is probably the worst state to be in if you're homosexual. Just saying. Stay out. If you hold up.
Save yourself.
If you are gay, go away. We got floor mats, and Champagne got one that said wipe your paws, and I have the go away one.
And mine's all cute. It's got all the paw prints on it.
Yeah.
Wipe your paws.
One last thing I want to say before we move on from the welfare thing. They say that welfare is what finally caused the Roman Empire to collapse. It was it was the greatest empire that existed, and
it was sterility of their men. They were using lead pots, and it was making all their men sterile.
Well, I heard that they went under because they got bankrupt.
That's true.
But
there was a lot of reasons.
I taught briefly at a middle school, and I was going around the room asking, people, I was talking to the children about future occupations, and this one girl was just so, I don't want to be here. I don't want to learn any of this. This is useless. And I said, well, this is science. I said, what if you ever wanted to get a job as a nurse? I said, maybe you wanted to be a pharmacist. I was trying to build her up, trying to, show her that, she could go do something great if she would learn a little science. And her response to me was, I'm not going to get a job. Government's going to pay for me. And, and she's like, I'm going to get on welfare. What do you say to a child? How do you motivate a child whose goal in life is
to get on welfare?
Is to get on welfare and do the bare minimum of anything in their life.
I hate to say it, but where did she get that idea from?
Well, probably from, as I understood it, from her parents. Because apparently her parents were on welfare, and she benefited from it, and it seemed to work out pretty well for them, so that was her goal in life, was to get on welfare.
See, I horribly abuse government funds.
These kids were, like I said, middle school. They were probably about probably an average of 14 years old.
Yeah. Okay. See, I horribly abuse government funds, but I'm not that bad. I don't live off of government funds completely.
Yeah, and it's not like you're wanting to just let the government pay for everything and just live off it. No,
I'm paying back.
The majority of the money is going to your education. Also, you're going to be paying that money back. It's not that you're not paying for it. It's just that it's basically as just taking out a loan. That's what.
And at least you're planning.
Here's a good one for you. Here's a good one. Getting little to no recognition on art that I work my ass in. but praise on art that is either thrown together or experimental, in my opinion. You ever have that feeling?
Yes.
I totally get that. I get
Same
so
here.
much. I have so many. Like, there's so many comments on, like, crap work that I do, and the ones that I put so much effort into, and they look really nice. No one comments on. No one comments on it.
One of my big pet peeves are the popular watcher profiles.
Oh gosh.
The watcher profiles that become very popular, and they don't even post anything that they make. No, all the stuff they post is art that other people make for them, and they become popular off of that. Whereas I've been here working my ass off for 3 years.
You're so mad.
I've got just over 200 watchers, whereas those watcher profiles who don't even do any work, they just have
They
people
rack
make
up
art
watchers
for
with-
them.
Yeah.
They
they're just
have,
rich.
like, there's one that's got like 800 watchers and maybe is watching a couple.
It just proves money can really buy you happiness. It really can. And actually, according to according to a survey, the amount of money, the salary per year that is most likely to, or that averages out to happiness, is $75,000 a year. If you make $75,000 a year, most people are happy at that.
Well, an engineer would be pretty happy pretty fast, I think.
I should
I mean-
be making that, but
The upper engineers, I mean, you can. I mean, I should start at around 60,000 a year. Once I have an actual job.
yeah, I'll probably be starting around 36, 38, but that's a lot more money than I have to my name yet.
Oh, same
So-
here, definitely.
It's still more money than either my parents make.
And with
My
how,
mom has a master's degree.
And with how we're planning on doing,
She's
I
a
mean,
teacher.
we're gonna
That's
be.
why.
and with how our plans are, we're gonna be saving more money anyway, since we're gonna be. Dude,
What? Why are you staring at me?
Gale,
Teacher.
are you listening to me?
Whoa. What?
I said, and with how we're planning on doing what our plans are, we're gonna be saving more money too, which will
Yeah.
mean
That'd
more
be cool.
spending money because we're planning on having a house together for us and our mates, and so that in the long run will save more money because we're paying for one house instead of each individually, and we're gonna be eating and stuff together. So I mean that's gonna be, once we're all together, that'll be 4+ incomes, you know, going at it.
All right. Here's a good one. Crazy drivers. I'm not even gonna go there. I have too many driving stories. We got almost. I was actually on my way back with Scurry, and we were coming back from New Orleans, and I'm passing this SUV, and this SUV comes up beside me on this side, and I'm here. The SUV next to me decides, oh, I'm gonna start switching lanes. I'm in between two giant SUVs, and I'm driving a car, and the SUV is trying to squish me. I laid on the horn as, you know, people who don't look. Oh, people who cannot park bothered.
Yeah, remember I thought I was sticking out of the parking lot the other day. I thought I had pulled through a little bit too far, you know, and it was maybe
And the
just a
car
couple of inches,
beside
maybe a good
him.
foot or two beside. When we came out to get back in my car, there was one car and it was sticking out several feet into the.
It was only
like,
I was only about
what?
halfway in the parking space.
Yeah, and I thought I was sticking out. I was only a couple of inches out. Had
People
a
who can't
couple-
keep their cars between the lines, especially when you're driving one of those little hybrids. I have
Yeah.
seen people who literally they can't keep their car between the lanes in their own lane, even though they're driving one of these little tiny.
How? I can park.
Or they can't
I can
park
a
it.
full. I can park a full size van. You know, something you can't. Where you have to basically be up on top. It feels like you're on top of the line in order to be inside of it.
I saw this jerk take up 4 parking spaces with his truck.
4? Did he
I mean-
park like right on the intersection of all of them?
Yes.
Why?
It's like I've heard of people like double parking. This guy parked like right.
Quadruple
Yeah, exactly.
parking.
He's like had a fourth of his truck like in each of these parking
Was it a really,
spaces.
really nice truck?
That's the thing. It really wasn't even that nice.
See, I know I can understand people taking up 2 parking spaces. If you have like a nice car, you don't want people scratching it up, because people do that. They'll park sideways in the parking space so you don't get next to them. I can understand it though. You're trying to protect an investment like that.
Right.
Still a bit of an ass move. Though.
It's an ass move, but people who try to pull into a gas station as you've already been sitting there waiting, and they pull in from the other side.
Oh yeah.
I have a set of chains in my trunk. I have and can use them. And I've had somebody pull in like that and they wouldn't move. I was like, I've been sitting here for 20 minutes waiting on this car. You better let me in. Oh no, sorry, I'm gonna get my gas. I attached the chains to the bottom of the frame of his car, hit the reverse, and pulled him out of my way. And then I went and got my gas. And every single person at that gas station laughed their asses off at the guy because they knew I was right.
It's still pretty funny regardless.
Yeah.
It's like not only did he have to wait, he got like the world's most embarrassing gas station visit ever.
Oh yeah. Definitely. Look like an asshole in front of everyone and then get made fun of.
See, you got any good driving stories?
Me? Let's see. Yeah, I'm probably like you. Probably too many to remember. One thing that gets me though is, okay, when you're in like a big city, it seems like the harder it's raining, okay, usually it's supposed to be when it rains hard, people slow down. But it seems in big cities, the harder it's raining, the faster people have to go, and the more ape shit, crazy, desperate they get. Like, oh my god, I have to make this turn! And I'm like, what the hell was that? I'm like, who takes a turn while it's raining like that? I'm like, it's amazing that guy didn't go shooting off. Like,
I hope you spin out.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
See,
and it's like, I'm trying to merge over. Oh my god, it's like you're gonna get in my way.
Talk about here's one thing that I don't like I've had happen before.
Yes.
Like, I'll be driving and a guy will, like, I'll maybe go 5 miles per hour over the speed limit in some places. And then I've had one guy dart around me, like, going who knows what. Like, he'll come up behind me, pass me, just to take a turn that I'm right about to pass in front.
Yeah.
I mean, he could wait 2 seconds to take the turn.
Yeah, and people who pass you, like if you're on a highway, I have my cruise control on the highway, okay? If I'm doing 70, I'm doing 70. I have cruise control on. People who pass me in the left lane, get in the right lane, and then slow down.
Yes.
That makes no sense. That makes absolutely no sense at all.
Stay one speed, people. It's called cruise control. If you don't have it, learn to drive. Learn to keep a speed. I can keep my speed better than my cruise control can. Okay, I can stay within a half a mile per hour. My cruise control generally fluctuates about 1.5, depending on hills and whatnot.
Right.
And now I had this one guy. I was on Highway 25. I was going down towards Jackson. I decided, okay, I'll have my cruise control on. So I was doing 70. Actually, no, what was I? 75. I was doing 75. But this guy comes up, and I'm like, okay, he's gonna pass me. So he goes around me, slows down. Without ever hitting the gas, without ever hitting the brake. He slows down, I go around him. He does the same thing again. This happens about 15 or 16 times. He goes around me and then slows down. So I go. Eventually, I get ticked off. I shut off my cruise control, and as he's going by me, I floor it. We got to about 95 miles per hour before he gave up. Because he was like, I don't know what his problem was, but he just wanted to keep passing. I'm like, fuck you. I'm sorry, but, like, you're an asshole.
How old
That's
was
annoying.
This car?
No, it was actually about the same age as mine.
And there's no point. It's not like he's trying to make you crash to get money off of you then.
Yeah, I mean, so eventually, like, he ended up giving up and getting behind me.
He's
again.
probably just trying to be an asshole for no reason. Then that's the
Yeah,
only thing
it's
I can
like-
get from that.
Other than to see people who do that, or people who like it's a light drizzle, and they like slow down to under the speed limit. Drive the speed limit, people.
Oh, what about the
People who
week or
don't
two
drive
ago?
the speed limit. Okay, the speed limit. Here's how the speed limits work. The speed limit and 5 over. There's your range. Not under the speed limit. Not with me. I can understand if it's going. You know, it's raining really hard or something slowing down, or if you're in a residential area, whatever. I can understand that.
Yeah.
But if you're on the highway,
Or if there's someone off
and
the
the
side
speed
of the
limit
road,
and the speed limit
you
is 70, 270, 75. No one's gonna bother you. No cop is gonna pull you over for doing 5 over.
I remember one time, our school bus was broken down, and my grandmother had to come pick me up because both of my parents were busy. Well, I had gotten my license. I could drive. My grandmother wanted me to drive home. So I start driving. Okay, the speed limit going home, 70. I'm just talking to her. She looks over and she, oh my God, slow down! What? And I look, I'm like, I'm only going 70. That's too fast!
That's
And
the speed
I'm like,
limit.
that's the
That's
speed limit, ma'am. I don't care, that's too fast. I had to drive home going, it was like 55, 60 miles per hour with every other vehicle passing me.
I would be like, I would honk.
And I had to do this for several days, you know, and I finally convinced her, Mama,
it's a speed limit for a reason.
right? I'm used to driving the speed limit. I have experience doing this. Please. And she finally submitted. But it was just I know that they drove a lot slower back in their day, but you know you have to adapt.
Yeah. I don't like people who don't go the speed limit when it's perfectly okay to go the speed limit.
Remember a week or two ago when we had that one guy riding our ass? You know, he was like,
Oh,
you couldn't
people who
even see the
tailgate
headlights.
the crap.
Yeah. You
And
couldn't
then
even
not only
see-
that-
hey,
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
you couldn't even see his headlights in the rearview mirror. So when he came around, I flipped him off. He rolled down the window. He was like, fuck you. I'm like, you were the one tailgating. You were the one being an idiot. You were the one being a dick. I was just trying to make you aware of that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I brake check people.
Can you blame the guy for wanting to ride your ass?
That's true.
I actually had. I am notorious for brake checking. If you ride too close to me, I will hit my brakes. Because I don't know. I can get money out of that. Anyway, I used to have on my back window it said, "Warning: I check brakes. Stay back." I had no one except for one person. One person tailgate me while I had that on my window. The guy, when we got to a stoplight, the guy proceeded to get into the turn lane, roll down his window, and start yelling at me. I said, "Read my back window." And he just gave me this weird look. And when the light turned green, I hit the gas so that he would be able to see my back window before he turned. And I don't know what his expression was, but I'd imagine it was one of like, oh crap. Because it's in big letters. It's not even like, you know, little
Yeah,
letters.
you have a fair warning.
If I give you in big red print on my back window, warning, I check brakes, stay back, and I brake check you because you're too close.
You can't be angry.
You
You,
can't
had
be
a
angry.
fair warning.
And I will.
And you were the one being stupid anyway.
Because here, if you hit somebody from behind, it's automatically your fault unless
Yes.
they've done something illegal. In my case, I hit somebody from behind one time, but they had come over double lines to cut me off, doing 20 in a 45 zone, reckless driving, and then stopped at a green light, ignoring traffic signals. So, yeah.
So they were the one being more illegal.
And they and the insurance company and police both filed reports saying it wasn't my fault. So my insurance didn't go up, and theirs did. The woman in the car was funny because it was a guy driving, and it was this woman's big black lady, and like as soon as she saw my private school shirt, she decided, oh, this guy has money, so I'm gonna fake a back injury. She was all up on me at first. She was like, you know, you hit me hard. I'm like. My first response was to get to my car and open the glove box because I have a 12-inch K-bar. in there. Anyway. And I made sure she saw that before she got any closer to my vehicle. And she was like, "Are you threatening me?" I'm like, "Yes, because this right here is private property. If you step anywhere close to it, I'm going to kill you. You are a threat to me." So, anyway, she didn't get any closer. The guy in the car was nice. The guy in the car was really apologetic. But she was like faking a back injury. When the cop got there, she was like, "Oh, I think I need an ambulance. My back hurts." And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, if you didn't weigh 500 pounds, your back wouldn't hurt. Anyway, and the cop came up to me after she had left and pretty much told me straight up, "We know she's BSing. We see it all the time. Don't worry about it." And I was like, that's probably the coolest. Like, I hate cops, but that's probably the coolest cop I've ever met. And anyway, it ended up being good. So bad driving. Snobby women. Snobby anybody. Come on now. You're snobby.
Yeah. It's not just women, it's everyone. If you're snobby, you're just...
Crying babies in theaters.
Don't bring a baby in theater.
Movie theater. Get a sitter.
Yeah.
Get a sitter.
Hire me. I will come do it. I'm good with kids. As perverted and crazy as I am, I am amazing with kids. I'm really good with kids. Like, I can't. I don't know. I couldn't. I don't think I could ever have kids. Like, if I ever had a child, it would end up messed up. But like anybody else's kids, like I do childcare. You know, in summers and whatnot.
Yeah. I mean, all my weirdness, you know, I can flip it on and off like a switch, you know, if I'm around kids. You know, I know.
Same here. I mean, I grew up with little siblings.
Yeah, I know how to tone it down for kids. So.
Okay, here's good. People who don't read a whole post before replying.
Oh yeah, I've had people. Yeah, jump on me, you know. It's like, you know, how dare you say or blah blah blah, and I'm like,
did you not read the whole thing?
Yeah, okay. This is actually, you know, you're actually agreeing with me because this is actually a post against that, and you're jumping on me for supporting it. It's like, read the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. And like, I mean, I've had, you know, people in a couple of my auctions, you know, just evidently not read the rules. I'm like, hello.
This person also says the Huffington Post. I'm not sure why that bothers you.
It's a newspaper.
I don't read newspapers. People who can't remember what day of the week it is. What day is it again?
It's
Sunday.
Sunday.
I believe it is Sunday.
Okay.
It's the 20th, in fact.
Now, there's some days I can't remember what number day of the month it is.
That's understandable. Because people keep track of it Monday, Wednesday, you know, not the first, second, third.
Water rings on the table?
It can get annoying.
I can understand that.
I know. I'm so used to having dorm tables and boxes to set things on that I don't
It's
have
not
any,
a normal occurrence.
I don't have any of the little what do you call those things?
Coasters.
Coasters.
Yeah, he comes over to my place, and there's a perfectly good hand-me-down table, and he has got some scratches on the legs, you know, but the top of it is, you know, fairly untouched, and he, you know, just takes his drink, sits it right down, and I'm like, you bastard.
I was like, what? I didn't know there was anything wrong with that. And he
like,
brought a coaster over.
I'm like,
okay.
Coasters in this house. So, yeah, like I said, it's a hand-me-down of a hand-me-down, so you couldn't hurt it any worse.
Okay.
What?
The fact that college has to be so long where you can't get a job.
Some people manage to make it work. Right? I mean, I might next semester if I'm able to. Right now, I'm working on pulling up my grades though. So,
yeah.
I mean, I'm still considering like I got an email saying that the engineering department had a position for a PC administrator. If the hours are flexible, like if I can work a couple of hours a day during the week and then put most of the time off to the weekends, then I could make that work. So I might see about doing that. But other than that, like a normal job, no, wouldn't really have time to do.
For me, I've pretty much been told with my major, don't even bother with trying to get a job, just because it's so intense.
All right.
I've been encouraged to get a part-time position at like a local community college, or even consider doing a grad student assistantship. But the thing is, it's like, depending on what professor you get, like, I have a friend who did one with a professor she knew, and it was not that bad. And I've known other people who, you know, got a position as a TA, and they were worked like dogs. You know, the professor basically like put everything that they didn't want to do off on them. So it's like sort of
that's pretty much how the history. Don't get it with
sort
the
of
geese.
yeah. And the last time I looked to see what was available at the local junior colleges, I think the only position that they were looking for was a security guard. And yeah, I'm not good at tackling people.
Are you good at looking intimidating then?
I don't know. Do I intimidate you?
Very much so. I hide it.
Why do
well.
colleges segregate band students from other students in dorms? Because you people are loud.
I actually didn't realize they did that, but that does make sense.
Okay, I can understand how you wouldn't want that, but I live with a drummer. My brother is a drummer. He's a percussionist. He does a lot of other things too, but
right.
Beats on everything.
And if you're going to be practicing your instrument, that kind of carries through the walls.
It does, and dorms are not soundproof by any means. As we play a massive surround sound system.
And as we have a couple of guys across the hall, you know, down a room, yelling at the top of their lungs every night.
Yeah.
Like, shut up.
What's really bad is I've heard of cases where, you know, you've got that one next door neighbor who frequently has sleepovers, and you're trying to sleep and you can hear everything.
I'm a pervert. I almost thought you said frequently has sex.
I said sleepover.
I know. At first,
sex was implied.
I see.
It was implied sex.
Okay, so sex is still involved. That's what you were hearing.
Yes. And it's like, it's not, I don't suppose that would be, if you're a night owl and a bit of a perv, I don't suppose it would be so bad to listen, you know, lie there and listen to someone making
Fapping with
sweet
the ear
love.
pressed to the wall.
Yes.
Okay, no. Here it goes. There's actually a YouTube series. It's called crap. Anyway, it's about this guy who has really noisy sex neighbors, and he has this microphone that he attaches to the wall, and he does these like competition things where in his room, like a minute to win it type thing. Is how many of these can I do before these people stop?
Right.
Before they get done, and it's the thin wall challenge. Look up the thin wall challenge on YouTube. Just do it. I'll put a link in here.
So did these people ever get wise?
Evidently not, but his, like, at the end of it, he's like, and remember, I can hear you.
That's quite nice, I must say.
Let's see, what else?
I just heard our neighbors. Did you hear them?
Yes, I heard them.
I was like, oh!
Alright, and then this other person who I talked to said, she doesn't like two-faced people. I think we covered this with posers, but let's just go
I've never seen anyone with two faces.
like specific two-faced people. People who, you know, they act friendly with one person and then they go talk behind their back.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh, yeah.
If you do that, like, you're just being like the biggest asshole on the planet.
Now,
it's like doing that is like running over puppies.
Don't run over puppies. That's bad.
Now there are times when my friends get on my nerves, and I talk about it with my other friends.
That's fun.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, but I mean when you're like,
don't trash talk people,
right,
and then act like you're their friend later.
Yeah.
You know.
Like I've griped to you guys a little bit about some of my friends, but I still love them.
I mean,
it's just, you know, like we're talking about pet peeves here. Sometimes people just really get on your pet peeves, but you're afraid to say anything to them because you're afraid that they'll make a mountain out of a molehill. I've learned from experience, all it takes is one sentence to destroy, one offhanded criticism to destroy an entire friendship. But anyway, yeah. I make it a point not to be a two-faced person. I try to be as honest as I can. I wear my heart on my sleeve. And,
I am what they call brutally honest.
You asshole!
I get that a lot. And I usually thank them. But, you know, if I have a problem with you, I'm probably gonna just tell you straight up that here's my problem with you. Here's what I suggest about fixing it. Because I won't just give you a problem. I'll hand you a solution for it too. You won't like my solution most likely because you won't like to. People who don't like to accept that they make mistakes. Like, I'm not perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that right now. If you come up to me and say, hey, you messed up on this, and you can prove that I messed up on that, I messed up on it. I'm not gonna argue with you.
Right.
My facts are wrong. My facts are wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I mean, you know, I'm not perfect. I know a lot of stuff, but, you know.
I had a friend who really appreciated me for being, well, I wouldn't call brutally honest, I'd call being honest to a fault. Because there were sometimes I'll lie to make a friend feel better. You know, like I'll tell them that they look better if they're sick. But if it's not something like that, you know, I'm going to tell you. Let's see.
Does this just make me look fat?
No,
yes.
Well, she had
Yes.
this.
I did that one time.
She had this new like hairdo, and you know she's asked, and like something had happened to it, and it, you know, she tried to fix it, and she was like, "Does it look okay?" And you know, "Oh yeah. Does it look okay? Yeah." And then everyone kept saying. Then she finally turns to me and she goes, "Does it really look okay?" And I'm like, "It looks like crap." I said, "It's it's leaning to the side." I said, "You got a couple of cowlicks spraying out." I said, "I just undo the whole thing." And she thanked me, and she undid it. You know.
I mean, because in the long run, I mean, if someone's asking you if they look bad, go ahead and tell them, because if they're going to be going in public, you don't want them going in public looking bad, you know?
And I had a friend cook me dinner once, and, you know, I realized it's not polite to insult somebody's food if, you know, they've been kind enough to cook for you. But she cooked this one side dish, and it was
Butchered.
bland. I mean, it was, felt like I was eating pulped cardboard. So I went and got this seasoning of mine. You know, I didn't even, think about it. I just, oh, this is bland, really bland. So I didn't say that, but I went and got this seasoning, and I, just started shaking it. And she sits there, and she gives me this look like, what's wrong with my cooking? I'm not about to sit there and suffer through eating it, if I can make it taste better. I'm just not. So, anyway.
Pet peeves about food. It's not really pet peeve. I have, like, OCD. Certain textures of food I can't eat. For instance, I don't mind the taste of onions, but the texture of onions,
And sometimes it's the combination. I mean, like, in general, the texture might be fine with one food and the flavor fine with another, but if you mix a certain flavor with a certain texture,
I don't like my food mixing. Now, I know I've heard people that don't like it touching at all. Okay, if I have some meat and the baked beans just happen to touch it, or the mashed potatoes happen to touch it, that's okay. I can live with it. But I hate it when, like, I get served some food and someone has put like a big, steaming helping of boiled vegetables of some kind on there. And the juice is just running everywhere across the plate.
Sopping into my roll, darn it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Exactly. I hate, when you pick up the roll and it's like soggy from all the green bean juice.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I don't really like my food touching. I mean, sometimes if it's just touching a little bit, that's fine. I can,
Now that doesn't apply to steak, because in my experience, steak juice makes everything taste better.
I mean, and a lot of things I'll dip my roll through it anyway, but you don't want vegetables.
steaks, you know what bothers me though? Steak sauce. A1. I'm sorry, but if you can't cook a steak good enough that you need A1 to make it good, you shouldn't be cooking steak.
I used to always eat A1 with steak, but then I stopped doing it. I still like to eat it in my mashed potatoes and on my burgers, so just because, it adds some flavor. I don't add enough for it to override the flavor, so I don't eat it on steak anymore, though, not at all.
Now, with my family, ketchup ketchup is not a condiment; it's a side dish.
That's what my grandpa is with salt.
We never ate steak without ketchup. Now we did go out to, just the way I was raised. Now we did go out to a really nice restaurant once, and I'm like, okay, this is an upper class establishment. I said I am not going to let my redneck hickness show through. I said I am just going to eat the steak. I said, if it's made well, I can dip the meat in its own juices. It'll be fine. My father, he proceeds to ask for ketchup, and the waitress tries to dissuade him. She said, "Well, I don't think my father asked me." He turns to me. He says, "Do you need ketchup, son?" And the waitress immediately says, "Oh, I don't think he wants to dilute the flavor. I think he's happy with it as is." But my father insists, and of course he covers it in ketchup. So yeah.
That doesn't make sense anyway. I don't see how ketchup would go with steak.
It doesn't.
It's different for me because I was raised with it.
Yeah,
I like the taste. Sort of like how people in Australia, they love Vegemite, but anyone who's not from Australia thinks that it's the worst stuff on the planet.
I've actually never had it.
I'm actually not sure what that is.
Okay, Vegemite, as I understand it, when they brew beer, the stuff that's left in the vat, they scrape it out and they use it as a condiment. They spread it on stuff.
I have no idea.
Yeah, that sounds gross.
Yeah.
Yeah. The way I've heard it, they said it was like really highly concentrated, like salt. They said it was like super salty. If you've ever had like Worcestershire sauce, they said it was even saltier than that.
Yeah, that's gross. Yeah, Worcestershire sauce. But yeah, and people who attempt to cook something and they just can't cook. You just shouldn't.
I've experimented and I've had some miserable failures, but I never tried to force anybody to eat it, and I never served anything to anyone before I had tried it myself.
Yeah.
One of my pet peeves is, you look at your submissions, you see how many views it gets, and then you have one or no comments. You've got like your phase will outnumber your comments, even if it's not by that much. But it's like, I would like some comments,
pisses
please.
me off.
Especially critique. I especially want critique.
If you fave something of mine on my FA, you better comment.
Yeah.
Like seriously, read a comment. Tell me why you faved it. I want to know why.
On FA, Gale Thunder Dragon, and Wizerdwolf. Leave comments on our submissions, please.
I fave this because it is so bad, it inspires me to do better.
That's fine.
I would like that as opposed to nothing, honestly.
Yeah.
I would then proceed to ask them how it is bad. How can I improve?
I fave this to make you feel better because obviously you are mentally impaired.
Please tell me how to get better.
There's no hope for you. That's like okay, I walk up to the counter, or like if I'm at a restaurant, they ask, how can I help you?
It's touching
can I help
me.
you?
Gale, it's touching me. Make it stop touching me.
Stop. Bad puppy. Anyway, I walk up to or like a waiter will ask, or people at the counter like, how can I help you? And I say, there's no help for me. And usually they get a laugh.
Ew.
I lick this side.
I know. Ew.
What?
Okay. Anyway, people. Let's see. What else? What else don't I like? Oh, people who hit the elevator button on the outside
and then walk off. Yeah, who knows how many times me and him have been in the elevator and
decide to go down the stairs. Okay, no. People who hit the second floor button on the elevator.
Unless you're carrying a bunch of stuff.
Unless you're carrying a bunch of stuff, or you are physically impaired, you should never hit that button. Never. You should never hit the second floor button. Use the stairs. You should not be that lazy.
We live on the top level of this residence hall, level 5. That's understandable. But 2?
I think they should just take the 2 off.
Well,
or I need to go put a little sticky note on it that says this is the lazy button. Because it is. Lazy people bother me. Because it's just like, I work so hard.
No. Put a note beside the number 2 button that says, use the stairs, fatty.
Yeah.
And I can make that joke because I'm chubby.
You're not chubby, you're fluffy.
I'm fluffy.
You're fluffy.
Have you watched Gabriel Iglesias?
Yes, I have.
Man is a genius.
Yes, I agree.
He's funny. Anyway, let me think. What else do we have pet peeves about?
You.
Me?
No, I'm joking.
I'm a pet peeve.
No.
You're just a pet.
I know. Does that make you peeve?
No.
Your pets have peeved me.
What did you do this time?
He's being clingy and annoying.
No. This may be
it's shedding on me. It's getting its fleas on me. I can feel them crawling. Oh God! Now I can smell its breath.
People who don't bathe.
Yes.
I just took a shower before he came over. He noticed my wet hair and like did that, and I'm like, yeah, I just showered.
Now, okay. There's nothing. Okay, like a guy who's just come back from the gym, fresh sweat. That's actually kind of hot to me. But if you've gone half a week without even looking at a bar of soap, scrub your ass.
Just your ass?
Okay.
Scrub everywhere.
Okay. I made the mistake. I should have learned my first time. Never give a ride to a chubby college student with a neck beard. Okay. I did it the first time, and the smell, I don't know what this guy's problem was. He just, I don't know if he looked at soap. He had that classic otaku look. And, you know, I felt bad for the guy because he needed a ride. Second time was worse. This guy needed a ride to his apartment. He climbs in. Okay, about a minute into the drive, I'm like, oh my God. Because I had only ever met him out in the open. But, like, in the confines of my truck, the concentrated essence of his stank was overwhelming. Like, my nose hairs were curling.
Stank. Wait, let me note this. Stank. There's a very highly technical term. Yeah. Look it up.
This was above stink. This went beyond stank. This was funk. not even funk. It was funk.
Funk.
So we get to where we're going. I've breathed as little as possible. He gets out, goes in. You know, he's got to pick something up. As soon as he gets out, I'm not rolling down windows and airing
turning on the air.
When he gets back in, I leave the windows cracked so that there's at least some ventilation. But never again. Like, I mean, this guy must have had. He must have had like duck butter all in his crack. I mean, it was foul.
Oh, people who use body spray as if it's deodorant. It is not deodorant. Axe is not deodorant. It is body spray. It's like cologne. You go, that's it. Quick sprays.
Whenever I used it, like I only used it when I was in weightlifting.
If you want deodorant, use deodorant.
Yeah, like when I was in weightlifting in high school, I mean, I would use it because it's convenient to keep in my bag. I'd just do like quick strips of it.
People bathe in the stuff, and it's gross.
No. That's it.
People like, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it kind of burns my nose. Thank you.
Yeah.
Smokers bother me.
I do too.
Oh yeah.
I can't, like, my dad used to smoke, and, you know, he would always smoke outside or whatever.
Yeah, I mean...
You could still smell it on his clothes and everything. And so, you know,
after
he quit, after 5 heart attacks and emergency double bypass surgery, and bankrupting us, he decided, okay, he's gonna quit. Well, after, you know, we got most of the stuff out of the house, and it stops smelling, and now if I pass by someone who smokes, I can tell, even if they don't smoke that often. Believe it or not, if you smoke, if within 30 minutes of taking a smoke, you can walk by somebody with asthma, and you can set off their asthma attack.
I had a class where I got stuck next to this guy. I called him Joe Camel because this guy, I swear to God, it's like he smoked a pack for breakfast every morning. There was no other explanation for the reek of tobacco on this guy. I mean, there just wasn't. Either that, or he was like actually working in the factory, putting the cigarettes together, like hand rolling them. And that would have. Okay, unlit cigarettes actually smell sweet to me. That's not so bad, but the smoke. It took me years to get my mother to quit.
People who complain about having terrible things happen in their life and yet do nothing to actually try to fix it.
Yeah. They like to throw themselves little pity parties. Like,
yes.
Oh, this horrible.
Stop complaining.
I've known some people like that, and I keep telling them, if you keep concentrating on this and you never move forward,
it's gonna keep happening.
Yeah, exactly. I said, if you don't like the position that you're in, if you don't like the place that you're in, then move forward. Otherwise, you're gonna stay in that same position, and you're just gonna, I don't like it here. This place is bad. Well, get up and move.
Seriously. And it's not like a lot of people will be like, well, I can't do this, and I'm like, you can.
It may.
You can. It's not gonna be easy. Right. No one promised easy.
It may be a long haul deal, but you can, change, your position if you're willing to work at it.
Oh no! God forbid we have to do that. Work? No.
It says in the Constitution, I have the right to happiness.
Totally.
No. That'd be nice, but no, that's not the case.
God forbid we have to work for our success.
Mm-hmm.
We get them government money checks.
I don't.
I know, I'm just messing with you.
I get them government loans that I have to pay back. That I horribly misuse.
Dildos.
Any more pet peeves?
I don't know. I think I've exhausted all their comments.
How long has our video gone on?
About an hour. I think we're about done. So, yeah. We should probably sign off with something entertaining. What should we do?
You should dance for us.
Dance?
Yes.
Never gonna give you up. Oh.
Actually, can we find a pole?
No.
Yes.
I took 3 pole dancing lessons. No.
Yes.
No. I have Bourbon actually took belly dancing lessons.
Nice. Yeah. I could see him doing that. Yeah.
That's it.
Is he any good at it?
I've never actually seen him do it, but I know he took lessons at it. Thing was, he was taking the. Never mind. Anyway, no, I'm just saying, I think he was about the only guy in the class. I could be wrong, but
maybe that's why.
there are some people who just.
Should we end this on a cliffhanger?
I don't know. Should we hang it?
We should hang you.
Will I kill him? Tune in next week. Will he live?